Fell out of the truck, out of the thing.
Nobody wanted to go up in it to fall out of it in the first place.
We're in Parks today. It's April 5th. Present today is Councilman Schramm. Councilman Schuyler is not available. We have appointed officials, Public Works Director Troy Kruger, City Attorney Paul Jensen, and Finance Officer Chandra Phillips. Joining us also Parks and Cemetery Supervisor Marty Peterson. Today's important topic is we need a testimonial from Marty Peterson on what it's like to be at the top of one of those booms, putting in one of those lights. How'd you feel about that, Marty?
It was hot.
It was hot.
I never moved fast.
See, the question became, how do you install a light when both of your hands are holding on?
I can pass the bulb with one hand.
You can-
You get a lot more work done if you let go with at least one hand. Yeah.
But I went up and looked at your lights. Field looks great.
Has anyone turned them on at night to see if there's a big difference?
I have
I
not.
haven't.
We can. I mean, but even during the day,
Yeah,
you
We
can
could do
see
it
it.
Monday. With the
Yeah, I'm curious, because
eclipse.
I'm thinking that some of those lights have been in for 20-plus years.
We're not gonna see much of the eclipse, so it's gonna be way over there.
But
Yeah.
it'll still be dark.
It'd be like 70%.
Yeah. You
We
think
won't-
it'll be darker?
I think it's darker than normal at that time, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe throughout the day.
I'm not gonna beg you on that, I am not a solar expert.
South Dakota isn't even in the, I'm not sure any of Iowa is. We're
No,
quite a
it
ways
isn't.
away. Mississippi and, or not Mississippi,
Indiana.
Ohio and Kentucky, they're in it, so.
Indiana,
Well,
Missouri. Well, do you guys have anything else that you guys want to talk about? So we have a photo floating around.
Yeah,
Was I just supposed to look at the is that the machine we're getting?
yeah.
And then that attachment, you don't want to buy that, do you?
The attachment is the brush on the front and so,
We bought that, right?
we did not.
We don't have the brush, there's a price tag in there.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Gotcha.
There's one of the things that we ran into, we have a brush for the front of our skid loader, which is very similar to that, except it's too wide. And
It's
there's places
Too wide for the sidewalk?
for the sidewalks doing Main Street, we can't fit in between the light poles in a bunch of spots where we can't, it just doesn't, it's too wide. This one's a little narrower, but I just got a quote on this because I just wanted to see how much it was. It's absolutely not a need, it's a want.
It's not a what, please?
It's not a need,
Okay,
it's a want.
yep,
But the other place where Marty has requested it is the baseball field where the grass meets the agri-lime. It gets that hard lip, and the brush can get in there and it'll take that out of there, but like I
Will it
said,
just throw that agri line back out into the
Yeah,
outfield grass?
it reverses. So you just pull up there, reverse
Okay.
it. pull it.
Because
No,
we
you throw it
used to
back into
use
the.
we rented I can't remember what it was, but it was about 3 foot wide and it had teeth in it, and then I just drug that backwards. And it cut that agri line right out of that grass, just like you're talking. This will do that same thing, huh?
I would think so, and I've seen videos of them using it that way.
Okay.
And it's something handy that can be used more than
Just for
once a
that.
year,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
There's some,
Just clean out them edges, that's a project for a day or.
Well, that scarifier thing, what do you call that when you do your lawn and get that thatcher?
Yeah, that,
Like a
We
power
would
rig?
rent that, and that would just tear up the grass really right down to the roots, you know.
yeah.
But it accomplished what we wanted. It made it a no transition from the agri-line to the grass.
there are
There's no
two,
step up.
there are two new members of the Baseball Association from other towns that have talked about this broom, and this is what they used in their facilities.
Big broom.
Yeah, what they do is it doesn't disrupt the soil. It pulls it from the grass back into the agri-lime on
Yep.
both sides, and then you level it and rake it. They
that's why
spoke
I've
very
heard, that's
highly
why,
of that broom.
that's why I was researching it so I've talked to the softball and baseball people, And that, we told them about the piece of equipment that that's coming on the 14th of this month,
14th.
15th.
Monday.
So they did a little research, and then, and everybody, especially the baseball people, that's their first, that was their biggest deal, that's their deal as well. We gotta do something about that transition from grass to AgriLime. We get a hard hump right there, and that's,
I've actually seen second basemen trip over that. Because when you're looking up, you just expect your feet are gonna be on level turf, and we're not.
yeah.
So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But what about the one we have for the skid steer now? Couldn't we use that and just come from the outfield in? That not as handy as this thing would be?
No, it wouldn't be near as handy. This doesn't leave much of a footprint.
Okay,
You know,
and
with the dual-
skid steer would.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's heavy and,
Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, that first foot from AgriLime to outfield, that's sure a foot to 18 inches wide and probably a couple of inches higher than the AgriLime.
yeah, it's,
And I haven't been there.
it's a battle.
Yeah, always battling that, yeah.
Yeah, that.
But I don't know that $6,000 is that just for that broom?
Yeah, it's
To go on
expensive.
the Ventrac that we're having?
that
Yeah,
we
I mean,
have.
the only justification, like I said, the other thing about it is it would fit between for brooming the sidewalks for the highway, is it will fit in between the light poles and the retaining walls and the areas where we can't get with our current broom, so,
I'm not sure we even have 3 foot, that one at my house, between the light pole and the concrete retaining wall.
yeah.
I don't know that their ADA thing fits there. But
Yeah,
I
but-
haven't measured it, just from looking at it. Seems like it's really, really close.
Yeah, there's a couple
You'll have to hand
spots.
shovel that. Yep.
There's also up there by Mathis Equipment,
Okay,
where they put that retaining wall, and then they have another light pole right there where it's really tight.
yeah.
You guys can fit through there with your
Gator.
gator when
Yeah.
you're moving snow, and this is the same width,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, I really don't have anything to talk about today. I mean, we haven't really done anything. The weather's kind of shut us down for the last, we have all of our summer and seasonal help. I guess I was gonna talk about that for a little bit. It sounded like we hired a lot of people, for summer help. So we split the summer help up basically into 2 categories. So we have which is basically high school kids, is what we consider our summer help. And we usually have them for about, 70 to 80 days. That's about what we get out of those kids. We have 7 or 6 of those this year.
I think so.
And there again, it's very uncommon that we have all 6 summer kids there at the same time. So even though it sounds like we've hired a lot of people, everybody doesn't show up for work every day in the summer, put it that way. You got camps and you got vacations and you got all that kind of stuff. A lot of these kids got to go to, they've got 4-H stuff, or I know 2 of the kids that are this year are both baseball kids, so they're going to be playing baseball. So if they travel or whatever, they probably, be leaving early. And then we have our seasonal help, which this year we had a great turnout of applicants for seasonal help. But there again, a lot of those guys, they only want to work half days. Some of them only want to work, a couple of them just want to work like 20 hours a week,
Yep,
couple of days. So I think it should work out nicely for Marty. We'll have to keep an eye on his budget to make sure we're not, not getting carried away. But we have a couple of projects that some of the seasonal help guys will probably be pretty handy, because some of these guys are retired guys that, they're hands-on guys, know how to fix stuff, know how to do, they're good with equipment, so we might be able to, we'll take advantage of that with those guys and get some of these sprinkler projects in the cemetery done and that kind of stuff, so. Like I said, when she read off the list the other night, it sounded like we had a lot of parks help, cemetery help, but it's not really a lot, because most of those people don't want to work full days. They just want to work half days or a couple, 10, 20 hours a week, so. But, And then budget-wise, really nothing to, I mean, his expenditure sheets, I see his cemetery, he's kind of using up, so Marty uses half and half, like on his mowers, so some of his cemetery side, some of his numbers are getting pretty high, like on his repairs and maintenance, but on the park side, he hasn't spent anything, so it's, the only thing I see in, same thing I'm seeing in everybody's budgets right now is, the only thing that looks like we kind of underestimated was utilities, but it's hard to say because it's only the 4th month of the year, and you know, January was a tough one on everybody through the whole city, so that's kind of what drove our utilities up. I know like electric shop, they've already spent like $12,000 on utilities this year, but January was a really tough month for them. So it looks right now like utilities is kind of trending up. Like maybe we didn't budget quite enough for it, but you don't know until the end of the year. It's hard to say what this fall is going to be like. You know, if it gets cold in November and stays cold, then you know we might have under budgeted a little bit. But if the weather stays favorable, then we'll probably be all right. But everything else looks fine. I think we've already missed 2 baseball games.
One.
Has anybody played anything yet?
No.
So, yeah.
Hardly nowhere in South Dakota. Girls softball in the eastern part of the state, they've already, like my granddaughter's team, they already canceled or postponed 3 games already. So it's everywhere, you know, as far as that goes, so.
And it's
And
every
Sioux
year.
Falls has all them turf fields, so it's not a matter of the field not being in condition, it's the amount of snow that's
Yeah.
on the ground, yeah. Yep.
I guess you guys have made some headway at the Bailey's Park. They got their crow's nest done. It's sitting up at the shop right now.
Yeah,
We just have to,
we gotta get the poles set as soon as it dries up. Yeah, that's what we're up against now. My hope was to work on McDonald's this week, but of course, you know, but as soon as it dries up, we're gonna take the sod we cut out of there, take it out to the cemetery.
Awesome.
Use it there, so.
Just to let it still grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's good sod. We don't wanna waste it, so.
Because you probably haven't got the low parts filled in yet, do you, where the graves have sunk a little bit? No?
Now, we're still continuing to fill them, but yeah. But, yeah, we gotta,
So if you
There's a
want,
dozen over the
I
winter.
don't know if this is legal or not, but I'm gonna offer to you where I'm gonna put a driveway in at my place. I have a pile of black dirt that, when I dug out from around my house, that could be hauled out to the cemetery if you want. Is that legal?
Oh, you're making a donation to the city?
To give that to the city if they'll
Sure.
come and get it? Yeah,
Yeah, I would want you to scribble out a note and sign it so that
okay.
we have something in the file to
Okay.
verify it.
All right.
Yep.
Because I'm just gonna throw that dirt away anyway.
we're always looking for dirt.
Okay, well, this has a little bit of chunks of concrete that you'll have to pick out of it that came, you know, just because they were part of the concrete. They're just there, but there's a pile there taken. And it's terrible. I mean, it ran onto the part where the driveway is. If you step in that, you'll fall down. It's that slippery. It's whatever kind of soil it is, but boy, it really moved easy.
Good old fashioned Tripp County slimy clay.
Slime,
clay.
yeah. Yeah. But you're sure welcome to have that, because
Oh,
I'm just gonna replace that with concrete anyways. So,
yeah, we got piles of everything down, but
yeah.
we use fill dirt. We offer it to the, like, we've got piles down there that, it's.
Yeah, I didn't know if it would be.
Somebody needs some
proper or
fill
not.
dirt or something like that, we just, get it out of this pile kind of a thing.
So I just give him a letter giving him permission to take that dirt?
Doesn't even need to be very official, just
Yeah.
something that says I give my dirt to the city.
There's a dirt pile, take it,
Yep,
and 5 inches below the current level of the concrete, yeah.
You gotta give it to Mr. Jensen though?
To Jensen, not to Troy?
Right, because we have to
Okay.
keep track of it. Like, Mr. Jensen keeps one on his
Okay.
legal side, and then I keep one on the finance office. Because if anyone from the public comes and asks, we have to show
Okay.
it to.
Because I already told the code enforcement guy, when he wrote me a letter, said, you can't have piles of dirt in your yard. He said, well, then come get it.
If we do that, then we're gonna have a little discussion about whether we're actually just doing work for you as opposed to just taking a donation.
No, you're just taking the dirt that's in a pile, yeah.
Okay, so we do it on
I
our,
was,
so we do it on our schedule, not on yours.
that's correct. Yeah, like I have a schedule. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
And the part about take 5 inches below the current concrete, that's just your jest.
I understand.
I'll make another pile and you can come get the pile.
Perfect. Perfect.
Do you think anything else they need to know about Parks and Cemetery?
No, we had 3 funerals this week.
Yeah.
We had one in February and one in March, and then 3 this first week, so.
So I would just remind you, Marty, if it's gonna cost $8,000 that we didn't budget for to do that piece of irrigation on the intersection, don't forget that, as we don't have it in this budget. So wherever you can cut that 8,000, that'd be, if you can keep us up to date on that, Sam.
Okay.
Because I'd rather not have to go and ask the council for a supplemental, even though I don't disagree with doing what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for, I've only got one quote back of the ones that I requested, and that one's out of,
Yeah.
that one's not gonna be, that quote's not even doable. It's too much, too expensive.
So I almost, I always
That
think
island?
about things after we get
20
done in these
grand.
meetings. What if we just filled that in with AgriLime and said, there, it's done? Don't have to mow, don't have to water, don't have to do anything, just put AgriLime and weed killer in there.
Should look in, I mean, I just don't, I have thought of some other, I know I just don't think it would go over good in winter, but, I know in the western part of the state, like in Spearfish and Deadwood, and some of those people up there are starting to use that,
Ground cover?
it's an artificial,
Oh,
it's
artificial,
like,
yeah.
it's like an artificial turf, but
Yep.
it's designed for road ditches and waterways and things like that. I just don't know if it would work here with the
Here's
dust,
my concern with doing something like that.
the dust that we have.
Blow dirt is gonna get in
Yeah.
there, and then you're gonna have nothing but weeds again, and no way to clean it up if you use what they use for baseball fields, yeah. Yeah, but you'll take
Yeah,
all
I don't know, like,
You'll take all your.
because it's
rubber
not,
away.
it's gonna get dirty fast, and then it's gonna look,
Just
it's
like,
gonna look
just
bad.
like putting a tarp down or a plastic down, and then that way you don't have any weeds. Well, baloney, 2 or 3 years, the blow dirt gets on top of the plastic, and that's where the weeds are.
Yeah,
So you end up weeds in your flowers again, so.
yeah, that's what
How
happens
many
with
quotes did you
landscaping
guys
around.
get on that,
What's
on
that?
that island? You said 20,000 to do that island with,
That's one quote.
That's
Last
one.
year, the guy that was supposed to do it quoted me 8,700. And the one quote that I've gotten back, and he said, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've never quoted anything this aggressively before, but he said, things are just crazy, and I'm so busy right now. So,
He's so busy, he doesn't want the work.
basically,
Yeah, if I get the job for 20,
I'll do it.
I'll be happy to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we're at, yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm still waiting on a lot of other quotes, so. Something comes back in that, close to what it was last year, then I think it's doable. Otherwise, if it gets more than that, we'll have to maybe ask council to fund it or something, because I don't want to say that his parks budget can swallow, probably much more than what I got quoted at last year. But if it starts to get if it starts to get up around $10,000 or $11,000 or $12,000, then I'd say we need to go back to council and ask him for some unappropriated money from somewhere to do that project, because that'll run him over. But
Yeah.
I did not
If there were a
see,
way to do something that wouldn't take the annual, you know, like mowing. If we could do something permanent in there that wouldn't require mowing every year, that would, to me, that would be great, you know. By that, I mean concrete the dumb thing. One-time expense and you're done, you know, but that wouldn't look
That would be,
very
that would, I mean,
appetizing either, yep.
that'd be huge upfront cost tag to concrete that. That
I
would be-
understand that.
That'd be like over $100,000 easily.
Oh, you think? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Concrete's $200 a yard right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
190, yeah.
Is it really?
1 yard of concrete to fix sidewalk.
$190.
Maybe I don't want you to take that dirt away.
Yeah, by the time you throw a rebar in there and you pay labor to do it, you know, and then $200 a yard.
Rebar is the best thing you can put in there. My parking lot at the motel, I put it in 1 foot on center, it cost me $700 extra to put it 1 foot instead of 2 foot. Go find any movement in that out there. That was money well spent, yep. But the guys laying the concrete hated it, because all they kept doing was tripping and falling down. 1 foot squares.
I think grass is the best option there, just because, you know, it's gonna look nice and clean.
I know.
You mow it every week and you get the dust and the dirt off it and you get the fresh growth, and then if we're watering it, you know, it's gonna be nice and green, and, I mean, it's gonna be more appealing than anything, I think, you know, and it's, I know I've had other councilmen and people of the public ask me if, you know, if and when we're gonna get that done, because everybody's stressed, you know, well, that's the first thing you see when you come into
I
winter.
agree, yeah.
So it should look nice. We need to get it done, and so, I don't know. Hopefully I'll have quotes in here in the next couple of weeks. I'll get them all in, and hopefully we get a better price on it, but, we'll get it done. Just might have to dig into a different couch to get the money.
So when you go to a trade school, are there classes there about being a landscaping artist or landscaping person?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's talk to Mitchell Tech about coming down here as a project.
They're not one of the schools that has
Oh.
that program, but Southeast does.
Okay.
Southeast has got one, and then SDSU's has got a,
Tell them we'll give them a
4-year.
free place to practice on. Yeah.
You know, I would.
BH does.
If it gets too expensive, I mean, I don't like, I know these guys are too busy and the water guys are busy and the streets guys are busy, but, you know, if it gets too much, if I can just have somebody draw it out for me, I'm not a sprinkler guy. I mean, I've never sat down and studied, I'm sure I could figure it out, but, when you're spending $10,000, you want to get it right first time. But, you know, if somebody could just draw it out, you know, this is what you gotta do, just a set of instructions, basically. If it gets to the point where it's 10 or 15, you know, gonna cost us $15,000, $20,000 to do it, I'm not opposed to doing that. Just have somebody give us, you know, send that stuff to somebody. Maybe our engineers can take care of it. I don't know if our engineers do that kind of stuff or not, but, if somebody could just draw us a set of instructions, I'm not opposed to,
Yeah,
you know, saving us some money by doing it ourselves. I mean, we can get a crew put together, and it wouldn't take that long. It would take a couple days, I'm guessing, to get it done, but, that's why I say, you know, we're kind of doing the same thing out in the cemetery. We kind of know what we're doing, but, that's not a real hard project because everything's already there, basically. But this would be a whole new, you know, how many heads do you run off each zone? How many can you run at a time? I could figure out all the math on it, you know, how many gallons per minute comes out of each head. You know, you gotta have full, with our water pressure there, you know, how many heads you can expect to run. I can figure all that out pretty easily, but, just like how they set up their boxes with their, cause you know, you know, those guys, they do it all the time. They're like,
Yep.
I know the guys from Hardington, Nebraska, they're tri-state,
Yes.
they're working on a quote for me, and so I've talked to that guy over the last couple of weeks, several times, and, you know, he's just asking me some simple questions, you know. He's doing the same thing. He's just figuring out how many heads he can run per zone, how many zones he's gonna need, you know. how, you know, what heads to put where, so he covers everything and gets a little bit of overlap and all that good stuff, so so everything's greening up and you don't have one brown spot out there in the middle of nowhere, and, so I guess we'll see what that comes in, but that's, I mean, that's the hard part of the project in my mind, is getting all that stuff right. If we had somebody that could draw it out, you know, say, this is how you need to do it, put it on paper, yeah, easy peasy, we'll get it done. But hopefully somebody will give us a good competitive bid. We'll go that route. But it's crazy how
Well, they're all busy.
the
Yep.
price of everything is just, I mean, people, there's so much work out there right now for everybody that they don't even need to be competitive on their bids. They're just throwing numbers at stuff. It's just crazy.
And I believe that concludes our meeting officially.